Yeah. So I guess he has big wrists too. Is what he's saying. So nice, nice, generous. I knew an 8-year-old that wore size 14 shoe. I need to check out and see what he's doing now. That kid was big. 8-year-old, big feet. That kid's gonna be tall. His dad was a college basketball player. And I think his mom was too. Very, very tall, like 7 foot and 6'2" or something. Kid's going to be tall. Anyway, great pair of binoculars. National Geographic 8x42. A really popular item here with lots of good reviews. You can check it out here on Amazon Live or go to Amazon.com. These are the Wings 8x32 binoculars from Alpen. Alpen is a brand that's been around for a long time. We purchased them 4 years ago. After they'd gone out of business before that, and we reconstituted the line and have modernized all the binoculars. These are 8x34, so yeah, you understand now that the 8 is how much magnification there is, and the second number is how much light gathering ability they have, 34. If you're out there right now and have a question, we would love for you to ask a question, make a comment, or just give us a howdy. We love to get howdies from people who are watching us here on Amazon Live or the live stream, the social live stream. So, another pair of binoculars. These Alpen binoculars are a step up from the National Geographic, meaning they're more of an investment. Why? Because they have better glass and they're fully multi-coated. The previous binoculars were just fully coated, meaning that surface and this surface. This binocular has full coatings on every piece of glass that light passes through. What does that do for you? It gives you brighter, sharper, crisper images. That's what you want. It's sort of counterintuitive that things on the surface of the glass will make it brighter. You'd think it would cut down the light, but it enhances the light, sharpens the light, and those proprietary coatings really give you a bright, bright view. The difference is astounding. But again, you know, if you've not ever done binoculars before, it's always good to not go in super expensive on it. Find out that you love using them and that you're going to use them for birding or sports watching or whatever, and you're going to really get some enjoyment out of them. That's when you want to start talking about moving up. So these binoculars are fully coated. They're also waterproof. Why are they waterproof? Because all the air has been removed and replaced by either nitrogen or argon. Both are dry, inert gases. They force all the air out. The air takes all the moisture with them. They seal them up. They have O-rings so no air can get inside. And if no air can get inside, no moisture can get inside as well, meaning they're not going to fog up inside. Sure, I can fog these up on the outside right now by going, and there's fog on that eyepiece, but it's going to go away. But if you get a lot of fog or dew on it, that's okay. It's not going to get inside the binocular and ruin your binocular. These are the Alpen Wings 8x34 binocular. Comes with eyepiece cover right here. I never put the neck straps on because it makes them harder to pack up, so I just don't do it. End caps to keep the end caps on are just on rings around the ends. Right there, always handy to cover them up. Comes with this nice storage bag. Comes with a lens cleaning pin. And as I said, a neck strap, but I don't have the neck strap in here. And a really nice carrying case, double zipper, nylon, and the hook and loop flip over with a nice shoulder carry strap. I've got it shortened up so it's just a handle. It also has a little pouch right here so you can slip it through the belt and carry it like a holster on your hip, so you always got them in half, can whip them out real quick when you're hiking or whatever and see a bird. Now moving along to, let's see what these are. I'm not sure which ones I grabbed. Oh yes, the Alpen Teton binoculars. Now this is a top of the line binocular, a really, really awesome set of binoculars. Take the end caps off, take the tops off. This is the Teton 8x42, 8 power eyepieces, 42mm objective lenses. They're over as the featured item right now in the carousel. These are an investment in binoculars. If you're looking for a really home run pair of binoculars, this is your pair. These, go out and compare them with the ED glass and the Abbe Prism. We'll talk about ED glass and Abbe Prism in a minute. Go compare these to other brands. These are not cheapened out. These are priced competitively and making them an affordable binocular for anyone who wants to have an investment in those binoculars. So ED glass, extra low dispersion glass. It's high quality glass that's formulated to and designed to not cause light scatter or diffraction. That ED glass makes these extremely bright, extremely sharp, and extremely crisp. The Abbe Prism is a specially designed prism with long sides that allows the light to reflect in a really great way. And I could draw a diagram for you on my green screen back here. There's no green screen back here. I could draw a diagram for you about why. I've studied and looked it up, and it causes the reflections to be really good and sharp and crisp in those prisms. And there's prisms in here. Why? Because if this was just a telescope, when you looked in the eyepieces, everything would be upside down. Well, that doesn't work for eyepiece binoculars real well. But binoculars are right side up. Why are they right side up? Because there's a prism in here that flips it right side up and keeps it oriented correctly, so it's just like you're looking with your eyes. All of these binoculars have a prism in them. These have roof prisms as opposed to the Poro prisms where the binoculars come out and have that jag in them. Fine pair of binoculars right here. Paul's got some B-roll of these binoculars. You gonna roll it, Paul? Sir? He's coming. So you look through these. Oh, we got a comment. Oh, get my glasses on. I can sort of read it, but easier. Hi, Kent. These 8x34s are perfect for sailing boats, sailing and boating, and whale watching out in the ocean. Egon Reich, that's true. You know, binoculars, this is a birding show, but they're great for anything you want to reach out and look at. Whaling, sailboating, whale watching, you know, if you like backpacking and looking at stuff across the valley, any outdoor use you're going to have, and any of these binoculars I'm talking about are going to fit that bill. What's nice about those 8x34s that Egon was talking about, those 8x34s offer a nice compact design, but a lot of light gathering capacity and the nice power. Compared to these, this is a heavy pair, magnesium body, but they're heavy glass. It's got that ED, extra low dispersion glass, proprietary coatings, fully coated, not fully coated, fully multi-coated, and they got the fantastic Abbe Prism inside. All those things working together to create an astoundingly sharp, bright, crisp image. Now, Paul tells a story. He was getting ready to shoot this video. He was shooting video and it got too dark to film. He got a pair of these binocular, picked him up, was up in Wisconsin with our pro staff director, Rick White. And Iowa, not Wisconsin. And looked out into the woods just to see what he could see and was flabbergasted by how bright they were in relationship to the darkness that was descending upon them at the end of the day. So, Paul, you got that video? Not found the video yet. He's got so many videos. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, which can be done, but you have to design the right kind of machine to do it. Mythbusters proved that, if they proved anything. One of my favorite shows was Mythbusters because they challenged you to think and found really cool, creative ways to do it, and they blew stuff up. So, no, Paul? Nope.
I don't know, my computer.
His computer is arguing with him, does not want to run. Right before the show, it started running, it crashed, and it was running really slow and weird. So we're going to move on to another final object over here. You can pick up these in the carousel right now. Great priced here on Amazon Live. Pick them up so you can have an investment in your binoculars. Now, I don't have the neck strap with me, didn't grab one. With all the higher binoculars from Alpen come with a neoprene neck strap. If you think back to the days when I was a kid, it was a real thin plastic one. My dad would go out birding and, you know, taking them to football games and things like that. And those straps would dig into your neck. The hot plastic, These are neoprene, they stay cool. They're soft on your neck, nice and wide, stretchy, anti-skid, so you have them on your shoulder. They don't just keep sliding off. That neck strap is a great improvement over what I had when I was growing up. So, switching off to, and I didn't grab a monopod. That's all right. This is the Alpen Apex 20 power to 60 power, meaning it's a zoom spotting scope. It has an objective of a gigantic 80 millimeters right there. Look at that pretty piece of glass up front. This spotting scope comes with a extendable dew shield. It's not twist up, just slides up. You can twist it if you want to, doesn't matter. An extendable dew shield right there helps keep dew and glare off of the glass when you're using it. The zoom eyepiece is right here. It zooms from 20 power all the way up to a 60 power. Now think about it. We were talking about the binoculars had 8 and 10 power. This starts out at 20 power and goes up to 60 power. With a spotting scope, you get a whole lot of magnification, which means you can see small things a lot farther away. Comes with standard cups on both ends. Twist-up eye cup, just like the binoculars. Didn't talk about the twist-up eye cups. Twist-up eye cup to help with your eye relief. And a coarse focus knob and a fine focus, so you can get it into absolutely sharp, tack sharp focus, no matter how far out what you're looking at is. Now, on the bottom, there is a hole right here that has a 1/4 to 20 threading in it, meaning you can attach this to any tripod that has standard 1/4 to 20 threading. That's basically most or all of North America. On a tripod, you know, you can handhold these, but the reality is you really don't want to. There's the video running now. And you can just see that beautiful piece of glass there. Nice, pristine. This is an investment in your hobby right here. If you've never had a spotting scope and looked through one, you owe it to yourself to do it. Go check them out and look how far out. Sir?
Great choice for
there we go.
even if you want thinking about astronomy.
Oh, you know, it's a little telescope. It's a right image up, a little telescope, has a nice 45-degree angle to it. So if you're going to put it on a monopod and look overhead, the eyepiece is still easy to get to. It's not, you know, down here like this where you have to look up. And even in astronomy, you never look overhead because it's hard for any of your mounts to go directly overhead. Great for astronomy, great for bird watching if you're a hunter, great for that as well. All sorts of options for this. This ring right here, if it's mounted on top of a tripod, you can turn this and get it at a more comfortable angle for you. Like you're sitting on a table or sitting on the ground with a tripod, you can be here and not have it in front of you, but yet look over here and scope out what's out there and what you're looking at trying to find. So this is the Alpen Apex 20 power to 60 power zoom spotting scope. Has a fantastic piece of glass up here, 80 millimeters in diameter, bringing in massive amount of light, squishing it down and focusing it on your eye. One of the things I like about this spotting scope comes with a nylon carrying case. The nylon carrying case allows you to use it even in the carry case, and here's how you do that. Goes in the carry case, unzip it all the way, so it makes it easy. I like to do it the hard way. Love to struggle, force myself to struggle. There we go. Got it up here in the front. Now I'm going to zip it up. And we can keep it stored like this, keep it clean, but if we need to use it real quick, this end unzips. There's a little slot right here where you can put the tripod connector to it. Unzip it, pull off the eye cover, and you're ready to start using your spotting scope. So yeah, it's a waterproof spotting scope. It's fully purged, fully multi-coated, but you still don't want to let it get caught in a downpour if you can help it. Won't hurt any, but take care of your stuff, right? If you have it here, you can simply zip it up and it's protected better from the elements. This is the Alpen Apex 20 to 60 by 80 spotting scope. And with that, folks, we're going to wrap up the show. Thanks for watching here on Amazon Live. We appreciate it very much, and out there on the social media feed. Thank you for sharing your time with us. We do this because we love the interaction with our customers. It's a one-to-one relationship, and we appreciate it very much. I'll be back tomorrow with Focus on Astrophotography at 3 o'clock, and we shall see what I have in store for that show. Might have some pictures if we get a chance to do some stacking tomorrow. Don't know if we're going to or not. But anyway, on behalf of Paul Newton over the control room and Noah Menard, who is hard at work over in the marketplace, we'll see if he waves hi or he has his earbuds in. Oh, he's waved hi. He said, hi, everybody. I'm Kent Martz. For everybody else here at Explore Scientific, thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mitch Roberts, along with Ken Martz and Kent. We're going to be going over the next hour or so of products from Explore Scientific. I know a lot of you folks are familiar with Kent. He's been doing this for a while. This is my first exploration, if you will, into this side of the camera. I had a career in television news. I did news reporting. I did sports reporting. And
Yeah, I'll keep going. They're talking about the monitor or something. Yeah.
Anyway, I did all that stuff for all these years, and then I've been out of the business for a while, hadn't had a microphone on for a while, and I had an opportunity to come back here and, you know, get back into some skills that I had just developed over the last 20 or 30 years, but get knowledge from you, somebody that can help not just me understand all of this great equipment, but everybody around the world. It's a cool opportunity.
You don't have any background in telescopes or astronomy or science toys or anything. You've had binoculars. We've been talking.
Binoculars is it. Like when you go to a golf tournament or something, or in a press box calling a football game or something where you need to see numbers a little better. But that's it. My knowledge of it is, I've always been interested in it. I remember when I was a kid, I always, like everybody, wanted to be an astronaut, and all the Apollo missions were going. And that was just such a big deal of growing up in the late 60s and 70s. And then life happens. You get your regular jobs. You get away from one of your childhood passions. And I think this is really neat for me to get this, but I'm hoping there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way. Like, let's learn from a guy like Kent. Let's learn from a company like Explore Scientific on how to take that next step in our journey.
So that next step is what, we want you to take. And your story about, yours a little bit different because you came in here and you're going, oh, well, I used to love this stuff, and that's the story for a lot of people. They get into astronomy and they're fascinated by the moon and the stars, and 10, 12, 14, a lot of times other things start taking over in life, and, cars and being a teenager and the things that are involved with that. Right. And that stuff falls by the background.
Then you got your school, then you got your jobs, then you got your mortgage payments. And so it can get away from you a little bit, but as long as you are taking that, step-by-step process, then you can get there.
And, it's not as expensive as you think it should be. Like, for instance, the Explorer First Light N114-500, it's a Newtonian telescope. The 114 means that it's 114 millimeters across. I'm going to show you this real quick. How about that catch right there in the air? Now,
that was impressive.
That was cat-like
lightning.
That was
lightning.
That was so. This little symbol right here. Let me show you. See what that says?
Yeah.
Don't look at the sun. Never use a telescope to look at the sun unless you are absolutely certain and taught and using the proper materials to look at the sun. You can buy solar safe filters that go over the end of the telescope right here. Don't ever use that anywhere else except over the front of the telescope, because telescopes focus light, just like a magnifying glass does. Mm-hmm. And Mitch, can you set a leaf on fire with a magnifying glass?
Yes.
Yes. Would you like to set your eyeball on fire with a magnifying glass?
No.
No, most people answer that way. They don't want to. And you will damage your eye permanently just like that if you do it wrong.
Not to mention your telescope.
But, and it will damage your telescope. But this telescope is designed to be used at night. So if you look at it in the daytime, everything's going to be upside down, weird, wonky angles. But at night, a Newtonian telescope, your mind knows where the horizon is, right? Mm-hmm. And our whole world is built on knowing what's upside down and right side up based on the horizon. When you look at stuff in the sky, it may be upside down, backwards, flipped, rotated, but your mind still accepts it because there's no horizon for it to try and correct. So you don't get that effect in this telescope looking at stuff in the night. So
It says Twilight Nano mount. What does that mean?
The Twilight Nano means this is Nano. It's our brand name, right? Nano, small, right? It's a small left, right, up, down way to point the telescope. So very easy, very intuitive. There's other kinds called equatorial mounts that require you to learn how to point it due north and get it polar aligned. And there's some stuff you're going to learn that over, but you have to get it. There's a process, just like trying to catch bass or play guitar. If you've never played a guitar before, Mitch, have you ever played guitar?
I have. I play.
Okay. Imagine somebody like me who has never really ever, I've touched a guitar a few times, goes down to the guitar store and buys an electric guitar and an amp. I'm not probably going to be able to play Stairway to Heaven tonight.
No.
Right.
You might get the first few notes of like Smoke on the Water.
Maybe.
You can get that one.
Maybe.
That's the first song most people learn.
Maybe. But the point is, to be good at playing guitar, or to be good at catching bass, you have to play guitar and you have to try and catch bass. Just like astronomy, the more you do it, the easier it gets, right? And so the first concepts can be difficult. But that's what a nice telescope like this, generous aperture means a lot of light coming out the eyepiece. The focal length is really nice, so you get magnification. Focal length is what determines magnification, along with eyepieces that we're going to look at here in a little while.
And you mentioned earlier about the red dot.
The red dot
and how you line things up. You want to go over that? I thought that very interesting.
I can do that. So I'm going to just do it right here so telescope, the camera can see. There we go. Okay, so see down in there, there's a mirror down the bottom, right? So the light's going into the telescope, and there's a curved mirror at the bottom that starts focusing the light. And if you look right here on the back side of this, you can't see it, but there's a flat mirror that reflects that light that's getting smaller up into the eyepiece, okay? So to use the red dot, it's just stuck on there right now, Mitch. It's not pointing at anything, right? So I'm going to use the telescope, and I'm going to put the eyepiece in it. It comes with a 25 millimeter Plössl eyepiece. I'm just going to stick it down in here, tighten it down so it won't fall out. And I'm just going to look through the eyepiece, and I'm going to point the telescope at something miles away. Let's say a radio tower on top of a mountain, like 5 miles away. If you can't get 5 miles away, get something a mile away, a telephone pole.
Okay.
If you can't get a mile away, get a roof of a house a half mile away, whatever. The farther the better. Get it in the center of the eyepiece by simply moving the telescope up and down, left and right, centered up.
And the reason we're doing that is so once you pull back, everything's in focus, right? If you focus on something farthest away.
You're getting ahead a little bit.
Okay.
So now, because we're trying to line up the red dot, we're going to do this in the evening, right? But not at night. If you do this at night, it's going to be very difficult. You're going to do this in the afternoon, evening, and once you get something centered up in the eyepiece, you're going to turn on the red dot finder, and you're going to move a red light. There's a red dot on this piece of plastic right here. There's not a laser going zoom out into the sky. It's just a red dot. And you're going to move these two knobs right here and move that red dot. And you're going to get that red dot on top of the radio tower or a unique tree. Whatever it is you got centered up in the eyepiece, you're going to line the red dot up to it. So it's telescope and then line the red dot up to the telescope. Now it gets dark. Now you use the red dot finder to go up in the sky and point it on, say, Orion's Nebula or Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse was in the news a year and a half ago because there was predictions it got really dim and everybody's thinking it might be going supernova, right? Well, it didn't, but it's a star that people learned about. So it's an orange star up in Orion. So now you simply get down and move the telescope until the red dot is on the target you're going to look at. And if you've done a really good job, you're looking at the eyepiece, and there it is in the eyepiece.
It's in focus because
it's not in focus, but it's lined up.
Okay.
Right? It's lined up together.
Okay.
Now you focus simply on the more distant object by just focusing the focuser. Just like a pair of binoculars.
Yeah.
Yeah. You point, you focus, and then you get it in fine focus. Same thing. You get it in general area, and then you get fine focus on it. Okay. This is all new. Mitch has never seen this stuff before.
That is amazing.
He's just like a lot of you people watching the Amazon Live right now. because who are thinking, I've been interested in that, but
Yeah.
for whatever didn't do it. But this telescope, it's not showing the price, so I don't want to say what the price is because I'll be wrong. I hate being wrong, but you can see the price over there. Get in the carousel, buy it. This has just come back into stock. It's a very popular telescope. We sold out of them.
I think what's great too is that, it doesn't look like you have to be, an advanced science
No, you
degree.
don't. No.
You don't have to be some kind of astrophysicist. You just don't have to have a physics degree. You just have to have an interest. And you went over 2 or 3 quick steps that I think almost all of us could figure out. Yeah, practice makes perfect. You're not going to, again, you're not going to play, Stairway to Heaven
The first
but,
night.
but you might play the first couple chords,
or here in about 2.5 weeks, when we get a new moon rising in the western sky, you may be able to find the moon real easy. And the moon is always, the rising moon is always in the western sky. A new moon is always a fantastic thing to start with because it's bigger, it's brighter. You'd think that it'd be really easy to find, but if your red dot finder is not lined up with a telescope, it is difficult to find those things. Little things make a big difference, right? And like you said, if you have curiosity and a desire to learn, this stuff is pretty easy, and take the steps, take baby steps, right?
Well, let's move on to
Right, so-
product number 2.
All right,
shall we?
this is going to cause a stage set. So
Okay.
you want to grab that,
Absolutely.
and I'll move this over here.
Be glad to help you. We're going to try and go in this next hour to get through 7 products, and this is the second one. We're talking about a Twilight adjustable angle.
Okay, so this is, you can look at this and tell this is a much bigger tripod, much more robust than the one we just had. So this will carry a bigger telescope. I didn't bring one in here, but putting a telescope on this is real simple. I can put that Newtonian on here. You can see how it goes. It just slides in here. Yeah, I can do it. Here we go.
Do it, Dan.
I can do it. Now the telescope, this telescope is going to be upside down because of the way it came off the tripod, but that's okay.
Got a hand here.
No, I got it.
Okay.
So screwing this down on what's called the Vixen dovetail, and we're just going to put the security one on. This one, there's 2 screws because one jams it in there and one locks it in, right?
Yeah, that's we all learned in the media business the importance of the tripod.
Yes, we did.
Because if you don't lock that down, then guess what?
I got it. There we go.
Your expensive lens
So-
hits the ground and you are in a world of hurt.
Mitch, my background is very similar. I came out of the newspaper business,
Yep.
a lifetime of newspaper business. So while one might be video and one might be printed word, it was still interviewing people and talking to people and just
And paying attention to some very important steps
Oh,
in
yeah.
getting the job done right.
Getting it
like
done right.
locking it down, like your red dot explanation, like your focus
see,
explanation.
Now we've got that turned over here, so you're back in position, so you can view from that side if you wanted to. I'm going to tighten this down. So now that's how easy it is to put a telescope on a mount. I mean, it's really a simple process.
So this is for somebody who's already got a much bigger lens.
If they have a bigger telescope or want to buy a little bit bigger telescope, this would handle a bigger Newtonian, which is has the mirror down here in the bottom, or a refractor, more like a telescope, like just a long tube you look through the end. This can handle up to 16 pounds of telescope and stuff.
And I want to mention that the actual tripod itself is very light. I know that for those of you who have done some media work in the past, some of them can get really heavy and put a dent in your, shoulder blade.
We have some that are really heavy.
But this one in particular, easy to handle.
Right, easy to handle. Collapses down to, I think it was 39 inches tall, something like that. I don't think it says on there, but this would be great for an 80 millimeter or a 102 millimeter refractor or a Newtonian like this.
And nice for different angles too. It says here you could be tilted forward or backwards
Right.
at a 45-degree angle to allow more clearance to point it straight up.
To look straight up.
Yeah, sometimes you might live in an area or be in a part of town where it's hard to get above everything.
So I can show you how to do that real quick. Here, let's take the telescope off.
Okay.
And we'll just leave the telescope off. Let me get a hold of it with one hand where I can get it.
Yeah, we can't be dropping it
Let's
on
just
Amazon
put this
Live.
back here. Oh, I've done that before actually. Huh? Comments.
Oh, we got some comments. We got Richard Grace writing in saying howdy.
Richard.
Hello, Richard. And Noah.
Oh, that's Noah right over there.
Noah's
Noah's
writing us in.
Yeah. Easy to focus on the moon too, Richard Gray says. It's big, it's bright, you can tell when it's in focus. So I have this set up just straight up and down. This is how easy